Okay, welcome. Today we are going to answer the question, what does it mean when she calls you thirsty? And by she, I mean a member of the black women from the United States. And by they, I mean, or you, I mean just black men in general. What does it mean when they call you thirsty? Well, in order to answer that question, you must understand how the men women dynamic work because women are very familiar with this. You see, women are in tuned more than anything with the thirst level of the individual men that they're with, as well as the collective of men that they deal with. You see, when a man is thirsty, he's easier to control. He's more malleable. You can make demands of him. He is more compromising in things like physical beauty, etc., etc., etc. Now, women are generally turned off by this, and that's because he's too easy. Women generally want the type of man that other women want. It's just that these men are, how can I say, not thirsty. You see, as much as they complain about the guys who say, if you don't get in line, I'll find another chick who do, they do get in line for that guy. Modern women, and by that I mean modern black American women, and when I say black American women, just know that I mean the ones from the U.S., not from the North and South America diaspora. Modern black American women say that you're thirsty, but deep down, they want you to be thirsty. Why? Because they know that that's the only way that they can get you. You see, when you deal with a group of women who really only offers sex, then you can only sell that to somebody who is absent that. And when they call you thirsty, fellas, what they're saying is that you're thirsty because you want us. When you ask for my number, it's because you want sex. There is no other reason you would be asking for my number, because I offer you nothing else, meaning that you want sex. And the rate that you are doing it suggests that you are thirsty. This is how they think of you. Now, if you don't believe me, I want you to take a listen to this.
There are very few of these, and most men, even rich, handsome men, do not get these. Now, what a woman can do is, once a man finds a woman who is not the virgin that I described, she can point out that she's not her virginity, that she's not this virgin. However, yes, she is not perfect, but she is still better than the majority. You see, as far as how men rate women, collectively speaking, the black women from the United States of America are the worst. Now, instead of her getting better, what I notice is that a lot of times what they will do is they will find a flaw in another group of women and say that that group of women is just like us.
Well, we're not the ones who brought that up, Game Changer. In addition, they're calling to you, but guess what? The men in Colombia, they're looking at them just the same way y'all looking at women in the States. They're looking at...
Okay, I want to pause right there for a second. Because, and to give y'all some context, we were talking about, why are Colombian women preferred over black American women. And once again, by that I mean by the ones in the U.S. This is an ongoing discussion that really goes nowhere. This is just them trying to say that they're the same and us trying to explain and answer the question that's presented. In doing so, she was kind of saying that Colombian men have the same complaints about their women that we have about ours. That's really just an unfounded statement. There's really no evidence of that whatsoever. But I'm going to actually provide evidence to the contrary in a moment. Let's continue.
Like they're washed up, tired, trifling, just like you guys are looking at black women in the States.
Okay,
and plus they sell more ass.
Okay. Let's put it like
no, they just sell it at a cheaper price.
let's put it like this.
Also,
are Colombian Are Colombian guys taking flight to meet Black American women? So let's be clear. As much as they complain,
they can't afford to.
As much as the ones that can don't. I mean, as much as they complain, about their women, they're not catching flights for hours. So
they ain't thirsty like y'all.
Okay,
and there we have it. Now I want to point out something that's very interesting. The Colombian men have the same complaints about their women that we have about ours. And then I pointed out rightly that they're not really catching flights to meet up with the Black American women here. They're simply not. To which she replied, they're not thirsty like y'all's. Now, doesn't that negate the original statement? Doesn't that negate the statement that Colombian men are having the same problems with their women that we are? Because if they were, then they would be just as thirsty. It would be a mirror image of our situation. There would be a Colombian SYSBM, etc., etc., etc. But according to her own words, they're not thirsty like we are, meaning that they don't have the problem that we do. So if you have a group of people in one area who's thirsty, and another group of people in another area who's not thirsty, then that means that one group of people is in a desert and the other is in a tropical rainforest. That's what that means. But let's continue. I want to explore this thirst thing a little bit more.
So feed us. Give us something to drink.
Nope. That's a goddamn image.
Wait, because y'all got swamp water. See, if y'all think it's a reflection on the men, if y'all man is thirsty, just like it's not a reflection on the children, if a child is hungry, it's not a reflection on the man if the man is thirsty.
It absolutely is. You can't say that you're a leader.
It absolutely is. It is a reflection on the man if the man is thirsty. Now, it kind of shows a different frame of mind, a vastly different frame of mind amongst these type of women. See, they don't see that it is their duty as women who claim to be our women, to assure the sexual satisfaction of their mate. They're like, you know something? You're thirsty. And though it is my job to assure that you're properly hydrated, I'm going to put that on you. You are the water girl. If this was like a basketball team or a football team, you are the, hydration engineer. And yet you say, oh, the team looked thirsty. That's your fault. Now she's about to say something about leadership. Let's take a listen, shall we?
Hey, y'all holding the Kool-Aid complaining that y'all men are thirsty. No, that's a reflection on you. If your kids are hungry, it's a reflection on you as a mother. If your man is thirsty, it's a reflection on you as a woman. Period. Now,
if your women are unprotected, it's a reflection on you as a man.
Okay, and this is a complete change of subject. And basically they do this protection, oh my protection. I really should have asked, like, what type of protection are you asking for? But I won't even get into that. They're just looking for reasons. So basically, the plan, so here's the conclusion, and here's the answer to the question. What do they mean when they call you thirsty? What they mean to do is say that their plan is working. They want you to be thirsty because they know that the only way they can get you is if you are thirsty. On the movie Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad did a demonstration where he got a glass of water and poured some ink in it. And he said, "This is water, dirtied. If you give this to the people, they will drink it if there's no other options. And they are thirsty." And then he poured a second glass of water and said, "But if you give them a pure alternative, then they will go to this alternative. With this understanding, a lot of women have concluded that we can serve you tainted water and you will drink it if you have no other option. And you are thirsty. Which is why they are very in tune with the thirst level of the men. In fact, a lot of these spaces, and a lot of reasons why women come to these spaces, are really just to gauge the thirst level of the men. So they don't have to purify their water. They feel secure in your thirst. They feel secure about their current relationships and future prospects. When they hear tales of your thirst, when they see you reacting in a thirsty manner, when they see you hollering at a woman who is obviously tainted water, they look at that as thirsty. And the last thing they want you to do is seek more pure water. So basically, calling you thirsty is a celebration. It's check. And if you do not maneuver properly, you will be checkmated. Now, what does it mean for you as a man to be checkmated? Well, simply put, it means spending a lifetime thirsty. You see, to a woman like this, because thirst is what brought you together and kept you there indefinitely, they know that once you are hydrated, you might reconsider the relationship. The thirst is what bonds you. Oh, she'll hydrate you enough, just enough to keep you alive. But really, you will spend the rest of your entire life thirsty, with water in the bed next to you. Sex will constantly be used as a method of control. Not pleasure, not enjoyment. You will receive sexual rations. Enough to keep you alive and to keep the relationship going. And even those rations will be taken away from you once you do not meet the ever-changing and ever-increasing and improving demands. You will be maintained in a constant state of thirst. Why? Because she fell in love with the thirsty you. She fell in love with your thirst. She didn't fall in love with a, happy, hydrated man who, out of all the women in the world he had access to, he chose you. She didn't fall in love with that. She fell in love with your thirst, your desperation. I don't have anyone and I'll take anything. That is the one she fell in love with. And she will keep you at that state indefinitely. She will make it a point to assure that you will that for you, she is slightly better than nothing. And she likes it that way. So why would it ever change? Just something to think about. This is Game Changer 00100. Game over. Peace.